Hello guys, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to our Dart programming language course. I hope you all are fine. Our previous tutorial was about introduction of collection chapter. Now in today's tutorial we are going to discuss a list in Dart in more details. We already discussed a basic introduction of the list in our previous tutorials. Now in this tutorial we will see deeply what is list. If you want to store multiple values in same variable, you can use list. List in Dart is similar to arrays in other programming languages. For example, to store the names of multiple students, you can use a list. The list is represented by square braces. There are two types of list. First one is a fixed length list and second one is growable list. We already discussed growable list in our previous tutorials. Now I will show you the difference between fixed length list and growable list. Let me open VS Code and show you practically. First of all, let me show you growable list or normal list. Here, let me create a list of type string, for example, names. And here we can store our multiple names, for example, Ahad and Ali. And here I can print names. This is simple growable list. Here you can see this is simple growable list. It does not have a fixed length, right? It is growable. It means we can increase its length. If I want to add another name, I will use names.add. Here I can add a new name, for example, Fahad. Now it will add a new value into our list. Here you can see this is growable list. It means it does not have a fixed length, right? Length can be increased or decreased during execution of the program, right? Now let me show you fixed length list. Here I will create fixed length list, a list of integer. Its type will be integer. Name it as numbers. And here I will use list of integer dot filled. There is a function filled, right? Now inside this function we need to pass two parameters. First parameter is length. Here I need to give a length of the list. It will be a fixed length. For now let me give 5. Its length is 5. And here I can fill this list. For now if I use 10, it will create a list of length 5 and all the values will be 10. Let me print numbers. Here you will see the result. Here you can see its length is 5 and all the numbers are 10, 10, 10, right? Now let me test it if this list is fixed length or not. Now let me try to add another element into this list numbers.add. For example, I want to add 20 like this. Now let me test it. Here you can see it is showing exception, unspotted error. Unspotted operation cannot add to a fixed length list. Here you can see this is important, right? So this is the difference between fixed length list and growable list. Now we will see some other operations of list. Here you can see, let me create a list of integer, name it as numbers. Here is the list. For example, these are the numbers. First of all, we will learn how to access items of list. Here, let me print numbers. Here I need to pass index, right? If I use index 0, it will print first number, right? Here first item of the list, that is 3. Let me test it. Here you can see it is printing 3, right? Here if I use 1, then it will print 56. Because you know indexing always start with 0, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, right? The total size of list is 4, but last index is 3. If I use here 3, it will print last item. Here you can see. And if I use a greater index here, for example 4 or 5, then it will show exception, right? Because that index does not exist, right? Here you can see not in inclusive range 0 to 3, 4, right? 4 is not included in this list. Its total length is 4, but indexing start from 0 to 3, from 0 to 3, right? That is very important. So this is the way we can print any number of the list or any item of the list by using indexing. Now for example, I have a number, right? Any number from this list, and I want to print the index of that element. Then what I can do? Let me show you. Here there is a function dot index of, here index of. Now for example, I need index of 65. Then here I can pass 65. It will print index of 65. Here you can see it is printing 2. 0, 1, 2, right? The index of 65 is 2. If I use 34, it will print its index. It will print index of 34. Here you can see it is printing 3, right? So for example, if I pass here a different number, right? For example, 50, right? Then because you know 50 is not included in our list, right? So it will print index -1, right? -1 means this item does not exist in particular list, right? I hope you understand. So this is the way we can find index of any element inside list. Now we will see how we can find the length of any list, right? There is a simple method here. If we use number.length, here it will print the length of the list. Here you can see it is printing 4. For example, I remove it. Now its size is 3. It will print 3. Here you can see. This is the way we can find length of any list. Now we can change value inside a list. For example, I want to change first value, that is 3. I want to change it this value. I will use numbers, and here I need to use index. So the index of 3 is 0, right? Like this. And here I can assign a new value, right? Because our list type is integer, so I need to use here integer. For example, 50. So if I print my list, let me remove length. It will show first number 50. Here you can see it is printing 50. So this is the way we can update or change the value of any particular item inside list, right? So this is called mutable list. Mutable means this allows us to change or update the value, right? This is called immutable list. If I make it immutable, immutable means, for example, if I make it const, right? Then we cannot change its value. Let me run it. Here you can see it is showing exception because cannot modify an unmodifiable list, right? This is the difference. So keep in mind, if we use constant keyword before a declaration of our list, then we cannot change its value. We cannot change any items inside this list. It will become immutable, right? Its value cannot be changed, right? So this is very important. So keep in mind. For example, our list size is very large, right? And we don't know what is the last index of our list. Then how we can print last element of the list? Here there is a simple method. Let me remove it. Numbers dot last. Here we can simply use last. It will print last item of the list. Here you can see it is printing 65 because here you can see 65 is the last item of this list, right? Like this, we can use here first, right? If we need first item, we can use first. Here it will print first item of the list. This is the simple way to print first and last item of the list without using index, right? Now if we want to check if our list is empty or not, we can use simple method numbers dot is empty. It will give result in boolean true or false. Is empty. Here you can see our list is not empty, right? Then it will show the result as false. Here you can see it is showing false. Now let me remove all the items like this. Now it will show our list is empty. It will give a result as true. Here you can see, right? Let me show you another simple method. Here this is our list, right? And there is another method to make the list empty. Here we can use numbers dot clear. There is a function clear, right? It will clear whole list, right? Now let me test it. Here you can see the result is true. It means our list is empty, right? After using this function, our list become empty, right? So this is the way we can make our list empty and how we can check it. There is also another method is not empty, right? The reverse of this function, let me use it, is not empty, right? So this is totally opposite of is empty, right? Here you can see its result is false, right? If I remove it, now it will show true is not empty because our list is not empty, right? This is true. That is why it is showing true. So this is the use of empty and is not empty. Now we will see how we can reverse any list. For example, this is list numbers. We want to reverse this list. Here I will use numbers dot reverse. There is a function reversed, right? If I run this, here you can see this is showing reverse form of our list 65, 56 and 3. This is the reverse form, right? But this is not a list. We need to convert it into list. Here we can use a function dot to list. Here you can see. Now let me run it. You can see our list has been converted into reverse form, right? This is the way we can convert any list into its reverse form. Now we will see some other operations. Let me remove it. Now we will see how we can add elements into our list. We already seen add function numbers dot add. Here we can pass our new item. We can add into our list. It will be added into the last index of our list. Here for example I use 33, and if I run this, you can see our item has been added successfully at the last index, right? Now our list size has been increased. This is the way we can add any item into our list. Now for example, this is the way we can add item at the last position. For example, I want to add item after 3, after first item, right? After this 3 and before 56. Now what I can do? There is another function here, insert, right? Here I need to give index, in which index I want to add element. So I need to give here index as 1, right? And here I can add item element, for example there is a 45. Now if I run it, here you can see our item has been successfully added after 3 and before 56. This is the way we can insert any item in particular index without disturbing already existing values, right? I hope you understand. Now, for example, I want to add multiple items inside our list. What I can do, here there is another function add all, right? Here inside add all I can pass a list. Here you can see 34, 55, 99. Now all these items will be added at the last one, right? After this 65. Here you can see our items has been added at the last of the list, right? This is the way we can add multiple items. Now for example, I need to add these items here after 56 and before 65. Then how I can use? There is another function uh, insert all. Here insert all. Here I need to give index. So let me check the index. Index of 3 is 0. Index of 56 is 1. And I need to give here index 2. It will be 2. And here I can pass the list. For example, 33, 46 and 45. Now let me run it. Here you can see our three items has been inserted here after 56 and before 65. You can see these items has been added successfully into our list. So this is the use of add all, insert and insert all functions. Now we will see how to replace elements inside a list. Let me remove it. So this is the list. If I need to change first value, I can use numbers index of first value, and then here I can assign a new value, for example 34. This is the way we can update existing values by using index, right? I hope you understand. Let me increase items 46, 39, right? Now for example, I need to change multiple items, right? Multiple items in a single line. For example, I want to change first three items, right? I want to totally replace first three items. Then what I can do? Here there is a function. Let me show you. Numbers dot replace range. Replace range. There is a function replace range. It will take three parameters. The first parameter will be starting index, the starting position, right? Our starting position is 0, right? Like this. Second parameter is ending position, where we need to end. We need to replace from here to here, right? This is 0, 1, 2, right? Up to 2, right? But here we need to give ending index as 3, right? Because this index will not be included, right? If I use here ending index as 3, it means it will replace from 0 to 2, right? The index 3 will not be included. The index 3 is 46. The 46 is not included. It will replace from 0 to 2, right? So keep in mind. And here we need to give a list. For example, 11, 22, 33. Now let me run it. Here you can see first three elements has been replaced. Last two elements are same. First three has been replaced. We can also add here more than three items. For example, 356. It will also add into this list. Right? Here you can see. So this is the way we can replace any range. Basically here we need to give a range from 0 to 3, right? But 3 will not be included. I hope you understand how to replace any range inside a given list. Now we will see how to remove elements from the list. Let me show you. So this is the list. For example, I need to remove 65, right? Here I will use numbers dot remove. There is a function remove. and here I need to pass particular item. So in this case I want to remove 65. Here I will use 65. Now let me test it. Here you can see this is our list, but 65 is not available. 65 has been removed. So this is the way we can remove items from list. Now let me remove 46. Now if I pass here 46, it will remove 46. Here you can see it is printing a whole list without 46, right? If I use here different number, for example, if I use here 100, you can see 100 is not included in our list. This time it will do nothing, right? There will be no effect on our list because this number is not included in our list. You can see it is printing same list. So this is the way we can remove any item by its value, right? Here we need to pass value. Now for example, we need to remove any element by using its index. Then how we can use it? Here there is a function remove at, and here we need to pass index. For example, I need to remove first element, then I need to pass index as 0. Now if I run it, here you can see first element 3 has been removed. Now for example, I want to remove second element. I need to pass here 1. Now it will remove 56. Here you can see. This is the way we can remove any item by using its index. If I use here a different index, for example 100, you can see this list is very short and there is no index 100, then it will show exception. You will see here, you can see it is showing invalid value, not in inclusive range, right? This is out of range. So always keep in mind while using index. There is also another function to remove last index. Remove last. Here you can see remove last. It will remove last element. You can see 39 has been removed. This is the way we can use remove last. If we need to remove multiple items, right, then we can use remove range. There is a function remove range we can use here. Here first of all we need to give starting position, starting index, and here ending index, but this index will not be included. It will remove from 0 to true. 3 will not be included. Let me show you. Here you can see first 3 elements has been removed, 3, 56 and 65. This is the way we can remove any range. I hope you understand. So for example, we have a requirement to remove elements from the list on the base of any condition, right? Then how we can use condition? There is another method here, remove where, right? Here it will use anonymous function. Here it will give element, for example, let me give it name as E, right? Here we can use condition. For example, we need to remove all the elements greater than 10. Here I can use E greater than 10. So it will remove all the elements greater than 10 inside our list. Let me test it. Here you can see only one element is remaining. All the items has been removed. So this is the way we can remove items from the list on the base of particular condition. We can also use here condition even or odd. For example, I want to remove all even numbers. Here I will use dot is even. It will remove all the even numbers from our list. Here you can see all the even numbers have been removed. These are only odd numbers. I hope you understand how to remove elements from list. Now we will use loops in our list. Let me use, for example, we need to print all the numbers inside our list by using loop. I will choose for each loop. We already discussed it in our previous chapters. For each, here it will give a function, anonymous function. Here I can print element like this. Let me test it. Here you can see it is printing all the items. This was for each loop. We can also use for loop here. Let me use for loop for integer I in numbers. So this is for in loop. Here we can print I. It will print all the items inside our list. Here you can see it is printing. Now for example, we have a requirement to do any mathematical operations on list items, right? By using loop. How we can use? For example, here I have a list. Let me make a list. New list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 items from 1 to 5, right? Here I will use map, right? Simply map numbers dot map, right? Like this. So here we can do any mathematical operations. For example, I want to multiply my whole list by 2. Here I will use e multiply by 2 like this. And here I will choose to list. It will convert it again into a list. We can assign it into our existing list or into a new list. We can also assign it into same list numbers is equal to like this. And here we can again print numbers. Now let me run it. Here you can see the output. Our whole list, all the items of list has been multiplied by 2. We can also multiply by 3. Here if we use 3, it will multiply by 3. Here you can see. If you are confused by this function, this anonymous function, because this is a arrow function, right? If you are confused, we can convert it into simple function. Let me use here curly braces. And here we need to return element of the list multiply by 3. This is the way. Here you can see the output. I hope you understand how to modify elements inside our list by using mathematical operations, right? Here, with the help of map, we can do mathematical operations on our element of list. Now we will see how to combine two or more lists, right? Here I will create different lists. List, for example, list of string, list of names. For example, it has names Ahad, Sitan, and here I will choose another list. Let me make another list of string names 2, names 2. Here I will add another names. Now I will combine two lists. There are two methods to combine multiple lists. First one, let me show first method. Here I will create list of string, name it as combined. Here simply I can use plus sign names and names too. And here I can print combined. Let me test it. Here you can see it is showing combined list. So this is the first way and simple way. We can use only plus operator to combine two lists, right? There is also another way. Here we can use a list. Here we will create a list, and inside list we will use our list names by three dots, and here we can use names. Again 3 dots and names too. Now let me test it. Here you can see the same output, right? So these are the two ways to combine multiple lists. Now I will show you how to use conditions inside a list. Let me remove everything here. Here I want to use condition inside list. Let me create a boolean is married, its value will be false, right? So I will use this condition inside my list here. So I want to make this element conditional, right? Conditional on the base of this variable is married, right? Here I will use if is married, then it will add. If this condition is true, then it will add this element, otherwise not. And let me print uh, names. Now let me test it. Here you can see our list has only one item. Because this condition is false, so this item is not included. If I convert it into true, now this element will be added. Here you can see the output. So this is the way we can make any element conditional, right? Now our this element is conditional. It depends on merit value. It's merit. If this value is true, then our this element will be added, otherwise not. I hope you understand. Now at the last we will see where in list, right? How to use where in list. Let me make a list of integer numbers. It has multiple numbers like this. Now I will use where. How to use where? Numbers dot where, right? This is where it will give an anonymous function, right? And here we need to return a condition. Here for example we want to print only even numbers inside our list. Here we will use element dot is even, right? It will give us a list. The same, here we can store this list into a new list. For example list of integer even, name it as even. Now we can print even. Here you can see the output. It is printing only even elements inside our list. If you are confused with this anonymous function, we can use simple function here. This function is arrow function. Here we can use simple function. By using return, we can use condition. Here we can return condition element dot is even, like this. Here you can see it is printing only even numbers. So this is the way we can use where inside our list. We can use any filter. We can filter our list by using where. So I hope you understand all the operations of list. At the last now I will show you a mixed list. For example, I have a list. I will not mention its type here. I name it as mixed. And because here I did not mention its type. So we can store values of multiple data types. For example, this is integer and this is double. Now I will store string like this. Now let me print. Here you can see the output. So this is the list, right? Its default type is dynamic, right? If we does not mention the type of list, by default its type will be dynamic, right? We can also mention here dynamic because this is its type is dynamic. We can store multiple values, right? So this is the benefit of dynamic list, right? We can use multiple values inside this. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. If you have any question in your mind, you can ask in comment box or you can contact me directly on WhatsApp. And if you have any suggestion regarding our channel or this course, you can also type in comment box. Okay, good luck.